In a symbolic move, leaders of Cyprus's Greek and Turkish communities have agreed to reopen a major thoroughfare cut off by a checkpoint, a key symbol of the island's division. It follows a meeting between Greek Cypriot President Dimitris Christofias and his Turkish Cypriot counterpart Mehmet Ali Talat at the headquarters of the UN-administered border zone. They also agreed to meet again in 3 months' time in an effort to revive reunification talks. Peace efforts between the two sides have been stalled since 2004, when Greek Cypriots voted against a UN reunification plan which had been accepted by the Turkish side. Soon afterwards, Greek Cypriots joined the European Union alone. Failed peace talks represent a major hurdle to Turkey's bid to join the bloc. Cyprus has been divided since 1974, when Turkey invaded the north of the island in response to a brief coup by Greece seeking to annex it. It followed years of conflict between the two sides. Today, only the Greek-controlled half is recognized by the international community. The Turkish side is only recognized by Ankara. Turkish Cypriots, tired of economic isolation, are keen to find a solution. But both sides remain divided over the very basis for negotiations, with Christofias keen to refer to a 2006 agreement, while Talat wants to use the 2004 blueprint, already rejected by Greek Cypriots at the time.
First, in Cyprus, the island has been divided for the past 30 years into Greek and Turkish communities. But talks this Friday between rival leaders have given way to some consensus. They've agreed to meet again in 3 months in an effort to reunite the island. France24 correspondent Jasper Mortimer is in Nicosia now. He told us more about today's agreement.
Well, there were two positive elements. First, they clearly wanted to get cracking. They've mandated their officials to meet as early as next week to set up working groups to study various aspects of the Cyprus problem and to set agendas to reach solutions. And then the two leaders will meet again in June to review progress and hopefully launch intensive negotiations on the Cyprus problem. And secondly, the body language was clearly very good between the two leaders. They gave a press conference afterwards, which is rare and was totally unexpected today. In answering journalists' questions, they refused to indicate any differences between them. They even wore the same clothing, black suits, white shirts and red ties. So they clearly wanted to send a message to their peoples that they're coming together.
Now, Jasper, the leaders today also agreed to opening the formerly blocked Ledra Street in the heart of Nicosia. Tell us a bit more about the symbolism of that act.
Yes, and look, this is a street that runs straight through the heart of the old city. And on the Greek side, it's a major, prestigious shopping area. On the Turkish side, it has less prosperous shops. Well, the Greek shop owners expect this to lead to an increase of business. I was speaking to Turkish shopkeepers on the Turkish side yesterday, and they don't think it'll bring them an awful lot of business, but they say it's very important for peace, and that they expect this to lead to much more goodwill between the two sides. It will make it much easier for people in Nicosia to cross between the two sides of the city.
Well, there have been signs of progress in reunification talks in Cyprus. The newly elected Greek Cypriot President Dimitris Christofias and his Turkish counterpart Mehmet Ali Talat have agreed to reopen a symbolic street seen as the dividing line between the north and south. The Mediterranean island has been divided since 1974. The Turkish half, though, has remained largely unrecognized by the international community. Owen Fay reports.
The new Greek Cypriot leader arrived with his delegation to meet his Turkish counterparts, hoping to fulfill an election mandate and find the means to bring about a reunification of Cyprus after decades of trying. And the popular support which swept him to power last month is strongly behind these talks.
We decided to do this symbolic gathering to tell the two leaders that the people of Cyprus, and especially women, they had enough. They want solution. They want reunification of our country. We want to live together, and it's about time that they sit down, have serious talks that will end to the solution.
For decades, this wall in Nicosia has symbolized the divide, running straight down the middle of Ledra Street. In a gesture of their determination, the two leaders have now agreed to tear down the wall as a first step toward reunification. Because if Cyprus is to be reunited at last, Dimitris Christofias may have the best chance of striking a deal. He won the Greek Cypriot presidential election last month on a platform expressly designed to end the decades-long impasse. The voters were clearly impressed and embraced his determination to break with the past. And analysts believe there is a new sense of momentum, both on the island itself and elsewhere.
Signals have been coming from just about everywhere, from the European Union, from the UN Security Council, that everybody is expecting changes, positive developments, and hopefully a solution and the reunification of the last divided, not only capital, but also divided island country.
Cyprus gained its independence from Great Britain in 1960, but the island itself was split 14 years later. In 1974, Turkish troops invaded the northern part of the island to put down a coup attempt by right-wing Greek Cypriots. In 1983, the northern part declared itself the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, but has only ever been recognized by Turkey itself. No other nation considers it legitimate. And that has had major consequences, particularly when it's come to mediation efforts. Most recently in 2004, when a UN-led negotiation plan broke down when the Greeks overwhelmingly rejected it. That same year, Cyprus was recognized as an EU member, but only the Greek side. And that's a disparity Christofias has pledged to remedy. And if these latest talks do result in success, not only will this city and this island be reunited, but the economic benefits of the European economy can be shared by the Turkish citizens at last. Owen Fay, Al Jazeera.